Well, it's spring now, so well, um, apparently I need to change the video resolution. Hold on. These things happen sometimes. Just kind of strange because I was pretty certain that this is the right resolution. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Um, I might have to come back to the stream because it seems like there's an error here. How everything's going. Um, Everything looks healthy though, so I'm not really sure why it's saying otherwise. If for some reason it's like being weird, just let me know and I can try to fix it. But like from what I'm seeing back here, it looks fine. So I don't know. Cool. Alrighty. Well, hello, good morning. Today I will be demoing a collage from the school community, um, school.com/favorite collage. And so what I will be doing is I will be showing you guys um like the kind of collage that I'll be creating, and it's from, let me pull this up. It's from our 12 mini winter prompts section. I know it's spring, okay? I didn't get a chance to update it. Um, but it's pretty much the same. Uh, but let me back up. So my name's Nadia Sheikh, and I'm the founder of Cool Storytellers, and Cool Storytellers Collective is the name of my YouTube channel, and as well as like the people that join in for the different types of storytelling programs that I create. And so my school community is school.com/paper collage, and I teach cut and create paper collage, which is the name of my school. And I teach paper collage to people who have never made collage before, who are complete beginners. Um, Even if you have some experience with collage, you can still have a fun experience and enjoy the process of collage. And so, in my school community, I have a prompt. I have a prompt that I have created, like warm ups that I've created, and so today I'm gonna just spend um today doing one of these prompts, or one of these warm ups, because I would like to collage a little bit today. I haven't had an opportunity to do any collaging today, but more importantly, I want to get you over a fear that maybe you've had with trying collage, but maybe there's some like hesitation and some fear. So I'm gonna be answering some questions, and I'm also gonna be collaging at the same time. And so let me share with you what this looks like. So on the screen, I have these prompts. They're cut and create paper collage, the 12 winter warm-ups. I will be creating a spring one, so don't worry about it. But basically, you're gonna choose one visual prompt and one like method prompt. Um, so I'm just thinking, kind of looking at what we have here. And so the point of this is to like pick one something visual. And you know what? I can even make it even simpler than that. So let's see. Let's do number 6, which is a winter creature. Okay. So I like owls, so I'll pick an owl, and we're gonna make it with geometric shapes. Okay. And then I will use mm, maybe found texture. That sounds kind of fun. Using receipts or wrappers or packaging. I do have some in this goodie bag here. I have a couple of things like that. So I'm choosing 6 and 2. Okay. So right there. And so I'm actually going to be creating a collage on this envelope. This is just like a basic envelope that you could purchase from like the craft store. It's like gold on the inside. But that doesn't really matter to me too much. It would be kind of cool to make a collage. And so I'm gonna close up this window here. I'll write this down first. 6-2. But before I close up this window, I did want to share um, a little bit more about what this school community is about. Basically, um, I teach paper collage to complete beginners, and you don't need any art skills. I have something called the 5-day collage challenge, or the 5-day paper collage challenge, and it takes you through 5 days of creating a collage with me. And so I share a little bit more about like what's inside the community in this video. But essentially, each day I'll even share each day you get a video based around um, creating a collage from complete zero all the way to the end where you can um, share your finished collage. And so we talk about like collage bases. Like today I'm using an envelope. I share with you all types of bases that you could use to make your collage on. We talk about paper cutting and paper tearing. We talk about mark making or doodling and using cut out words and stamps. I talk about ideas for designs that you can try. There's all types, so I give you a couple ideas. Then we talk about the rule of thirds composition, which is idea taken from photography, and it helps you to lay out your collage in a way that is really intuitive and simple to understand. Then we go into storytelling, whether it's a memory or a fantasy or both. We take that a step further and we think about how we can tell a story with our collage. Some people think about it like a storyboard or a comic, like a one panel comic. Either of those is like a way of thinking about taking that mental image, that imagined story, and turning it into something physical on the collage. And then the last day is reflecting and sharing. So winter session is almost over because spring starts in like less than a month. So you could totally join um, once the spring session starts, or you could join the winter session since it's still live. And we will work together, and I'll be there in the chat answering questions and cheering you on and just having a fun time. All right, now let's get to the actual collage. And I also wanted to try to go live on TikTok as well. I don't know if I can do that, uh, but I'll try to do that before I start actually vlogging. So give me like a minute and wait for this out. Oh, great. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna go live on TikTok as well. Uh, Alrighty. Now, I said I'm gonna choose an owl, and I'm gonna make it out of geometrical shapes, and then I'm gonna blindly pick from here. Honestly, this is pretty blind for me because I don't even know what's in here. Oh, like this colors. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a couple pieces of paper. It's not super blind for me since I haven't really been in through this stash in a bit. But you know, let's see. All right, those look like fun papers, and then look at this. So cool. Okay. Now, I I think that this like prompt idea is pretty fun. Um, I will say I've not actually done the prompt yet. So this will be fun for me, and you guys get a chance to like be, um, you know, you get to make a collage with me if you're joining me, and more importantly, you get to experience me making a collage live. And like I said, I'll also do my best to answer some questions as well. For anyone that's new to collage or you just don't really know if it's for you, I'm gonna be answering some of the questions today also. So let's get everything set up first, and then I will dive into questions. I really like these papers a lot. I don't even remember what magazine this was from. This was like an old magazine. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna make an owl, and so I'll just start answering a couple questions right now as they roll in. Some common questions, things of that nature. One of the questions that I get really commonly is, do you need to be good at art? And I always say, you don't need to be good at art to start collage. You just need to be willing to explore and to play. And in the like 5-day paper collage challenge, it's a space, my community is a space for people who are outside the lines, you overthink, or you haven't created in years, and there's a little bit of like you're unconfident about creating, you're unconfident about how to start, what to do. Uh, I really guide you through the process of the beginning so that by the end you have something and you are just amazed with yourself because you didn't think you could do it. And I make sure to structure it in a way that you have a lot of opportunities to feel like you can do this from day one. So you don't need to be good at art to start collage. You just need to have um, patience with yourself. There's this quote by Kevin Ashton, and it's about like creation and how it's in all of us, and how the outcomes of creation might be, extraordinary or exceptional, but the process to get there is the same for everybody. And so I really believe that when you collage the first time, you're like a self trust exercise. You're tapping into something that you are unfamiliar with. It's new, it's different. You don't really have a lot of experience, but you can grow on that like journey of learning. And I like to think of it as, it's the steps of learning when you create something for the first time. It's not about being creative, it's really just about the process of learning how to have a skill. Let's think here. Hmm. Let's talk about the rule of thirds for a second. So the rule of thirds is you have a grid of 9. You have a grid of 9. All the papers are, all the things are falling. You have a grid of 9, and what you will do, this is like a grid. It's a little shoddy of a grid, I apologize, but the basic principle is the same. If I want to make my owl, for instance, I have a couple options. I could even turn this grid up like this way, so that it fits this way, or I could turn it this way, so that it fits that way. Either way works. What matters is, where do I want my viewer to draw the eye? Do I want you to look more here in this quadrant? Or you look more here in this quadrant? Here, here, here? Do you want to be in the middle? Or like I said, you can turn it this way, and maybe the owl's sitting on a branch, so the branch is here or something. It's really about guiding you and directing you. And a lot of the questions I've gotten from students, like, oh, do I have to be creative? It's like, you're not. Most people are incapable of being creative. You just don't have the practice of that skill. It's like, if you don't know how to use this grid, it might seem confusing, but in a couple of lessons you learn how to use it, you understand how to use it, and then you can be like, oh, okay, I know where I want stuff to go on my collage. So I'm thinking that I want my owl to sit up here, so I'm just gonna sketch it out this way. And so when it comes to like creativity, for instance, it's not a personality trait, it's something that you build, it's something that you nurture, and it's something that you develop. It's like gardening, or learning any other kind of skill. Creativity is just the output, but it's a skill that you learn. Okay, thinking. Oh, there. That's why, like, in the 5-day paper collage challenge, I give you prompts. We're calling them buzzwords now, because it sounds better. But I give you a buzzword, and that guides you through the entire process of your collage. And so, like I'm showing you with the rule of thirds, I know that I want my owl to sit somewhere over here. So anything that I'm going to be adding to my collage is going to support where the owl is sitting. And there's no, it's not like perfect, right? Like you can be loose with this and decide like how you want it to go. But I have a general idea. And so since I want you to look here, everything else is going to have to like come back to it. Um, I'm thinking for my tree, maybe it'll be a peach tree, even though peach trees are huge. Maybe it would be fun to have like a peach tree where the owl is just chilling on a peach tree. I think that would be fun. So I did my little sketch, and so now I might have, because I'm doing geometrical shapes, right? So maybe the flowers look like that, little octagons or something. Uh, Maybe I want a cluster like here somewhere. Maybe I even want a branch here, um, so that you can kind of frame the owl. So I'm gonna keep answering questions, and if you have questions, feel free to ask me like in the chat, make a comment. I'm happy to answer. So another kind of common question I get is, what supplies do I need? And you can start with old magazines. Like I have these old magazines. These are what I'm going to use for my collage today. My mini warm up collage. Scissors, glue, and paper. Like that's it. Even if you have like an old envelope or something. I have this old envelope. I've never used envelope, but I thought it was cool. You could do that too. Inside my cut and create paper collage community, school.com/paper collage, I show you how to use what you already have so you don't feel overwhelmed or pressure to buy anything. So keep it simple. Always, always, always keep it simple. You don't need all this extravagant stuff. You don't need special tools. You don't even need special glue. I use like Elmer's glue, and I use just like basic stuff you could purchase from a Dollar Tree. Those are all valid and they all work, so you don't need a lot. Um, I opened the flap of my envelope and I kind of like how this is like kind of nice here. So I'm thinking I want like, because I live in Oregon, I like looking at Mount Hood when I drive. So I'm thinking maybe like in the background there's Mount Hood or something. And then like the sky or something like here. Let's see here. And again, if you want to follow along with me, I'm using the 12 mini warm-ups. Here, I'll show you. I'm using the 12 mini warm-ups from my class. So I know it's spring, but bear with me. After this warm-up, I'll make a new version. But this is for my 12 mini winter warm-ups, and it helps you to get like into the practice of creating a collage. So you can go here to the download section and like use this to warm up. It is free, by the way. The warm-ups are free, and you could join me if you want to. I'm doing winter visual prompt 6, a winter creature. I'm making an owl out of a geometric shape. And then I have the creative method. I'm using found textures. So I have like magazines. I'm pretty sure I had a receipt somewhere sitting over here. I also have like, felt. It doesn't have to be like anything crazy. But again, like I said, like cheap stuff. So anything you have on here. So yeah, you can find this on school.com/papercollage, and it's the 12 mini winter warm-ups. That's document PDF here. And if you do join, um, post your collage in the chat, and I'd love to see it. All right, let's get back to collaging and answering more questions. Okay, so like I said, Mount Hood in the background. Geometric shapes, triangles, rectangles, these hexagon. Remember, hexagons are six. Sorry. No, I'm pardon me. That's eight. Eight sides. Pentagons are eight. Hexagons are six. Um, hmm. There's a lot of blank space here, and I'm kind of wondering like what should be here. If it should be something different, something new. Maybe some word here. I'll come back to that. I'll think about that. Okay. So now I'm gonna just start thinking about the colors. And actually use temper paint sticks. So these in my in-person classes, I create kits. Paper collage kits. They're called cut and create paper collage kits. So in these kits, I have stuff like this. These are they're called solid temper paint sticks. These are really cool to use for adding color. It dries in like 60 to 90 seconds and it adds a lot of cool color. So I'm gonna use this to kind of make my skyline here. It's kind of like it's really buttery. It's kind of really soft as well, and it's layered. You can layer it on, and it's just overall it's spotlight effect. Zoom in a little more so you guys can see what I'm doing. So, like I said, I live in Oregon, and so I want a nice skyline. I was driving yesterday to a breakfast, and the sky, there's a sunrise at like 7 something. So I was like driving at like 6 o'clock, and I just saw the sky, and it looked so pretty. I was like, wow. There's just some sights that you don't see until you're like there, um, in the space and just driving down the highway. It was a lot of fun. Even though it was like super dark. This is a acrylic marker. So you can use acrylic markers. It's acrylic paint in a marker form, so there's no mess. Pretty nice. And I like to do this, layer this on top of my temper paint stick. Even if it's dry or still a little wet, you can still do this. You might be saying, "Oh, aren't you supposed to be collaging?" Yes. This is a part of how I teach collage. This is called mark making. And so, mark making is when you just come in here and you use markers or pencils or crayons or pens or watercolor or gouache or inks, and you just start adding marks on your base. I'm using an envelope, literally an envelope today. So you can do this with an envelope or whatever kind of paper that you have available to you, and then you just go in here and you start adding marks. It adds character to your collage, it adds personality, it adds a little bit of extra interesting visuals. You can do this on the base itself, or you can do this with like on top of the paper, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And I like leaving the wet of the paper on here because I remember seeing that in the sun. That is really nice. So this feels very like owls early in the. Okay, so let's go back to question. Another common question I get is, what if I mess up? You will mess up, and that's a part of collage. That's a part of learning, and that's a part of how I teach. Um, Collage is one of the few art forms where messing up usually leads to something better. And so if it doesn't, you can always lay over your collage. You can, make some marks on top. There are a lot of things you can do to, make your um, collage look better the way you want to. And if it doesn't turn out the way you want to, well, then you just learned what you don't like. Nothing is permanent in my like how I teach. I always teach you to kind of build that confidence in yourself and to really think about how you can work with what you have and kind of lean into that uncertainty. I'm thinking I will blue for the bottom here. It's not as dark of a blue as I would have wanted, but it's okay. It's all good. Another question I get is, how do I start my first collage? You don't have to start with a perfect idea. You can start with like an envelope, for instance. And inside the challenge, I give you a daily, I give you one buzzword so you're not staring at a blank page for 5 days. You start with an idea and it kind of grows from there. So I removed the hard part the first day, which is starting. That's where a lot of students stop and freeze. How do I start? What's the best way to start? And so I kind of made a point to get rid of that in the first lesson even. So now I'm still doing mark making. Mark making is one of my favorites. It helps me to like think about my collage in like a new way. And I'm still using a bit of geometric shapes here. Obviously, I'm using triangles and stuff. I didn't add any pink yet. We added a little pink, not like the super bright pink that I don't like. Another question I get is, how long does a collage take? So, like the first lesson, it could take you 10 minutes or an hour or even 90 minutes, which is typical in how I teach. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistent. And so you have the chance to like take as much time as you'd like to each day to finish the lessons even a small 10-minute session is a great way to get into this without overwhelm. Okay, now I'm going to start looking at papers. I'm liking this pink here. Pink stuff. I like this pink because it's really cool with the trees. Another question I get is, what if I don't finish my collage in the span of the challenge? Like, what if after those days, I'm still on the same collage, I'm still on the same lesson, still on the same step? Like, what happens if I don't finish? Um, that's exactly why I made the paper collage challenge self-paced. So I give you the structure to start when you can, finish at your pace. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't have when you start a new hobby, is you don't have that accountability or that structure. So I took this building. I guess this is in like El Rancho Hotel. I don't know where this is. Texas, I think. Is it Texas? Gallup. I don't know where this is. Oh, New Mexico. Okay, it's in New Mexico. Okay. Well, anyway, I took this building. I'm going to use it for my tree branches. I need to grab glue. Let me grab some glue. I will be right back. I don't think I have any in my stash. Check. No, I don't. Okay, let me grab some glue. And keep asking questions. Feel free to like, follow, share. So I know you guys want more of me answering your questions. I also have washi tapes, which I didn't even share with you guys that yet. The washi tapes are a lot of fun, but I'll get there too. Use this. I thought that I might have like taken all my glue to my gosh, but I think I have like okay, I have glue. And I was like, did I really leave all my glue with my cards? That's kind of wild. Alrighty, glue. Glue has been procured. It's cold. Today is a very cold day. Okay. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. Um, the question I get when I'm making collage, a lot of students ask, a lot of students feel anyway that this is like therapy, and so I get like, is this therapy? And I say no, it's a non-therapeutic, class. Um, the challenge is a non-therapeutic, challenge. The school community is non-therapeutic. I'm not a therapist. I'm not an art therapist. I can't claim these things, but a lot of the times my students feel calmed and grounded and have a lot of fun, and they get to express emotions probably don't have another way of expressing, and so the collage really acts as like a way to express these things and allows them to um, do that in a way where you can just bring everything that you are and um, feel it and express it in a physical way, in a way that can be abstract as well. I'm using a building to make a tree. Like, that's pretty abstract. And for people that are new to collage, that level of creativity is a little different. You hear my cat in my background, he's fine. He's just woken up and now is wanting extra attention. Yes, Jack. Hold on. Yeah, good morning to you too. What I like about what I chose is it has like all the colors and everything. This is called a brayer tool. You do not need this. I have it because I like, using it for my collage. It allows you to like flatten out everything, and it allows the glue to adhere to the papers. Um, it's great. It's great for that reason. Make it all nice and smooth, but you do not need this. You could use, a water bottle, like the back of your water bottle, and like smooth out the pages. You could use the glue bottle and smooth out pages. Use your fingers and smooth out the pages. You don't need a brayer. It's just what I have. What I had purchased. I want this to be like somewhere. Somewhere here. That looks cool. Like I said, I'm using um the 12 mini warm ups, the winter warm ups. I will have a spring version available, and you can follow along with me. I am using the prompt 6 and prompt 2 for the warm up. And it's the spring equinox today, but I just wanted to use what I have for you all today just to pop on, answer questions. Cool. Okay. So the branch is done. I still have a couple more branches to add. I actually think this looks good because a lot of the times when you're out in nature, like early in the morning, or even late at night, like the branches really take on like the color, the atmospheric light. Then I have like this color here, which I can use. Another thing here. This. Thinking I want to add a little branch here. And here. And one here. Right. Cool. Okay. That's pretty fine. I could add like this little edge here to like the mountain area, or even like this little edge here because it's like blending in and it has like a nice color thing happening. Yes, that looks so nice. Okay, yeah, because that's like the back of the mountain and the rest of it is lit. Even though, like, I remember, I remember seeing the whole thing lit up from every side. Because we have this side too, we could reasonably say that this side of the mountain is not lit, and that side is. Yep, I like that. That's fine. Let's see here. It's like it's so simple. Oh, okay, I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll be done for today. I'll start with the owl now. I like this color. I think this would be a fun color for the owl. I also think that this really interesting away L'Oreal pattern thing would be fun. Um, I can just figure out where to put it. Let's think here. Okay. Geometrical shapes. So I'm using squares, triangles, circles, hexagons, all these basic shapes. Hmm. I also like the texture of this because it looks like, looks cool. Again, if you're just joining me, welcome. I'm teaching paper collage classes on my school community, and I am just getting through one of the mini prompts that is great for total beginners. If you've never made collage before, you can totally make a collage with this prompt. You know what, guys? This is like it's sitting in the back. It's like looking at the sun. I really actually don't hate that. I just was thinking I was looking at front forward, but that's kind of cool. Okay, I might leave it this way. That's interesting to think about. How you might be like looking out on at the sun. Kind of cool. And that's the cool thing with collage. Like, you don't just do it for you. All right, I'm gonna finish this one up. It's almost done. I'm thinking about adding one, two, three. All right, so I guess this owl was just gonna look out. That's fine. So what I want to do now, I think, is add a bit more texture here, so that it just feels like he's going to do some more mark making, and then I'm almost done with this collage for today. Literally simple collage, nothing super, crazy. Owls tend to have like these cool feathers. I kind of want to just follow the marks on the design here. Cool. All right, we just need our peaches. Which don't have to be peaches. They can be. I like this color stone here. That could be one of the peach colors. And then another color could be this one. The roses, but what's floral? The lawn comb ad. One day, one day I'd like to do brand stuff for Lancome. That'd be so fun. Obviously, this is a really big shape, so I want to cut it down so that it yeah, that works. Use the brayer tool. Again, you don't have to have this. I have it so that I can swoosh this down. I just have like a paper towel or something. Extra glue. This is a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll answer some more questions in a moment. I like to cut off the end pages, especially if it's something that I'm gonna like. I might gift this to somebody. I don't know. And so if I don't want all these edges, I flip it, glue it, or snip it off. It just makes it a little easier. Make sure we don't snip through the envelope. Here's the envelope. Now let this glue and the paper kind of work together with the tool that I have, the brayer tool. I mentioned washi tape, so I might use a little bit of like a border or something. Um, I like washi tape a lot. You can use washi tape to add like a translucent kind of color thing happening here. Um, I think I will kind of use this tape and color in this spot part here. It's a little, I don't know, not as pretty. And it feels a little empty, so by adding all this on here, it's a lot. Let's see if I can add it here too. I just want I want a bit more solid colors. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I have to get my thing. Oh my gosh. I just remembered a thing that I needed to do, and I still like I need to do it this one. I forgot. Okay, I have to reach out. Oh man. Oh, good thing it's on my list. It's a good thing it's on my list. Um, whoops. Oh man. Whoops. Let me see here. Okay, almost done with collage. And again, you can go to school.com/collage to find the prompts for this. I will be creating a spring prompts as well, so don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You can totally use winter ones. And in a way, I guess I did make this spring type, uh, it said winter, like a winter scene. I ended up making it spring. So yeah, you can be like me and just do whatever you want. I think adding this one was a good idea. It feels so much nicer. It feels more complete. I just realized I was missing a branch or a blossom to go back in and add one more. Jack, up right there. Yeah, I'm almost done. My cat, he enjoys uh, being a cat. Alright, guys. I feel like this is done. I feel like this is done. Let me show you. I didn't even use the felt. I don't even know what I could use this for. Let's use the felt. That kind of works, I guess. My cat just really wants to come in the room. But every time he comes in here, he gets into stuff. Alright, I'm almost I'm almost done. I will let you in a minute. I'm gonna put it here. I'm missing one more boss. It's okay. I think I can find something. There you go. All right, and then I'm done. Done. I'm done. Done. Well, I do have to set my name. That's it. All right. Well, thank you for sitting here with me today and watching me make this collage. I think it's been like an hour, over an hour of making this collage. So thank you. And it's an owl in a springtime environment instead of a winter environment. And I have this on an envelope, so I could effectively, send this as like a gift or something. You can definitely like seal this with like some kind of acrylic sealer or Mod Podge before you send it out. I may do that today because I actually like how this turned out. Really sweet. Um, but yeah, you can always add more to your collages. I'm even looking at it right now and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be nice if there were some swirls or something, or there's some extra textures, or just something to add a little extra pizzazz. Or you can do whatever you want. Hopefully, this gives you some ideas. And if you're interested in joining the 5-day paper collage, the spring version launches next month. Would love to have you. So you can learn more at school.com/paper collage. Let's do a little more mark making here. Add a little bit more texture. Yeah, you can learn more on my school page. This is a perfect class for complete beginners, people with no art experience, people that want to make something really inexpensively as a hobby. Maybe you want to find a new way to connect with people online and you want to stop doom scrolling. This would be the perfect kind of hobby activity that you can do. I've taught over 500 people in Oregon and Washington. So, yeah, you have a lot of cool opportunity to make something really unique. And from shade, it looks like up close. It looks really cool. Flat as the mountains. So, yeah, I'll finish out with a couple more questions and then that'll be all for today. So, a common question I get is, what if my collage looks bad? Well, your collage just means it's unfinished. If it's bad, it just means it's unfinished. So your collage gets better the more you layer and explore. Like it's my collage. Um, it was just a sketch, and then it got better over time. And so That's one way that you can think about your collage is, if I keep adding stuff, is it going to get better? um how how do I know if it's bad right now? Can I save it? Is it going to look good? you know that's the whole exploring of collage in my mind. Is it's going to look a certain way, but it can definitely look better. um as you go. Is this beginner friendly? Yes, this is completely beginner friendly. Everything is designed for someone who's never made collage before, and you're guided every step of the way. Another question I get is, what paper should I use? You can start with anything. I started with an envelope today. I used a simple envelope that you put like a greeting card, postcard in. You can use printer paper, sketchbooks, cardboard, cereal boxes, old book covers. You can use a poster board. You can use um, a gift bag. There's a lot of things you can use for collage. And inside my community, I show options, but you don't need anything fancy. Use whatever you have first. Don't try to buy fancy stuff. Use whatever you have first. My cat wants my attention. I'm almost done, Kit Kat. I'm almost done. Do you need expensive supplies? No. This isn't about tools. It's about practice and play and developing your skill. So you can create something beautiful with very little. Again, I used an old magazine, some paper, an envelope. Um, I used markers. I used glue, and I made this. So yeah. What if I don't have time? You don't need hours. You just need intentional, focused time. So even 10 to 15 minutes can add a lot of value to your practice in collage, and it's definitely enough time to start for the first lesson, even 10 to 15 minutes. And then the last question I have is, what if I get stuck halfway? That's totally normal. Um, Even in my in-person classes, I have students that they get stuck uh, on a step, and it's like a little bit of self-doubt there. That's normal. And inside my community, I show you how to add layers, how to keep going, and how to show directions, and even when to say it's done. I teach you those things. And last question is, how do I know when it's done? You'll feel it. For a lot of people, that can be confusing. It's like, how do I know if I feel it's done if I don't even know it doesn't look done? Um, but also, sometimes done means you just decide to stop, and completion is always better than perfection. All right, thanks so much. I'll post a video of this in the replay in the full community, and you guys can watch this later.